Hi, this is Angel for the Immortal Guild with a video tutorial on how to get yourself onto our Ventrilo server. I just want to start by saying I'm on Windows XP and I will be demonstrating this using Internet Explorer web browser. If you're using Windows Vista or another browser, things should be very similar and you shouldn't have too much of a problem getting online. For some of you this might seem very basic, but I've designed this so that anybody, regardless of their computer experience, can just follow step by step and be able to get on the server. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my web browser and I'm going to go on to www.ventrilo.com. That's Ventrilo with one L. And over on the left hand side here you'll see the download button. I'm just going to click on the download button and we have to choose our client here. I'm assuming everybody that's watching this is either on Windows XP or Windows Vista, so we're going to click on this top button and all the way down to the bottom of the page to I agree. This should bring you up a dialog box that tells you that something wants to download, so go ahead and hit save and choose your desktop. Go ahead and save it to your desktop. It will download the client, and after it's finished, we can close this and minimize the page, and you should have this icon on your desktop. This is just going to be really quick and straightforward because it's very easy. We're just going to click on next. Just accept the license agreement. You can read all this if you want, but it's basically saying you're not going to commit any crimes or try and sell it to anybody. If you just hit accept and then next, this is really not important unless you've got some serious networking going on in your house. Go ahead and hit next again, and next one more time, and last time you're going to hit next, and the whole thing's going to install in a very brief moment of time, and you're just going to hit finish. You should now have this little icon of this man who desperately needs to see the sunlight. We're just going to double click on that and you should have something that looks very similar to this. First thing we need to do is set up a new user. So we're going to click on this arrow over here at the far right hand side of username. We have no users created here, so we're just going to click on new and you're going to type in your name here. Whatever you want to appear on the actual Ventrilo page. You can put in a phonetic there. I don't particularly like it because I think it's annoying, but you can if you really want to. And just hit OK. The next we're going to put in the server details. So here over on the server portion of the page, we're going to click on the arrow on that. Now we've got no servers loaded into this, so we're just going to create a new one. And we're going to be connecting to the Immortal server. So just type in Immortal and hit OK there. Now over in hostname or IP, this is where you need to type in the address of the server. And that's voice401.inx-gaming.co.uk. And I'll just copy and paste that because I'm lazy. And no, I'm not going to save that. And in the port number box, you're just going to type in 5983. Now, in the password box, you need to get the password off of one of our members. I'm not going to give this out on a public YouTube, but just ask anybody what the password is and they'll be happy to tell you. And basically, that's it. You're just going to hit OK there. And you should be able to connect right to the server at this point right now. Now, if you have a microphone, you're going to want to have it so that everybody is able to hear you. So go over here to the setup box and just hit setup there. This might seem rather daunting, but it's really not all that complicated. You want to make sure this enable outgoing voice communications box is checked. If it's not checked, make sure you check it. And you also want to make sure this use push to talk hotkey is checked. So just make sure that's all checked there. You're going to go down here into this little hotkey box and you're going to click inside of it, and it should say mouse button 1. And what you're going to do now is you're going to hit the button on your keyboard that you want to use when you want to talk to people. Personally, I use the left control button, but you could use anything you're comfortable with. But for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to hit the left control button. You can always go into these options here and change the amplifiers. If you are too quiet to everybody else, you're going to want to click here and just hit it right there. Don't worry about that. That's almost always going to come up. And if you're too loud, you're going to quieten it down by pushing this to the left. And if you're too quiet, you're going to boost it up here by pushing it up. And my microphone generally ends up being a bit quiet, so I'm going to put myself up here about 6. And down here is where you're going to change it to the volume for hearing everybody else. If everybody else is shouting in your ear and far too loud, you're going to drag this one down to turn everybody down, and you're going to turn it this way to turn everybody up. And I generally like having it turned up just a little bit so that I can hear everybody a little bit better. We're going to hit OK here because we're ready to go. And we're going to go ahead and hit connect. We should be able to connect to the server right away. That's great. And as we can see, Jay and Morty are on. It's 7:30 in the morning as I'm recording this, so we can tell who the obsessive ones are. And we have all these rooms here. Sometimes you'll find people in dungeon rooms, or raid rooms, depending on what people are doing. But right now we're in the lounge. Most of the time you'll find everybody in the World of Warcraft channel. And you can change the channel you're in simply by double clicking on any one of them. So if people are down here in the raid, you're going to click in the raid. If people are in the if you're AFK, you go into the AFK channel, and this will mean nobody can speak to you, nobody can hear you. But everybody's just kind of in the lounge here, so we're going to go into the lounge. Basically that's it. If you hit the control button on your keyboard, you'll see that the little speaker here will change to a different color to indicate that you are transmitting. I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and Jay and Morty are going to wonder what the hell I'm talking to them about, but anyway. So anyway, if the green light's lit up there and you're talking away, everybody should be able to hear you, and that's basically it. We're done.